Good afternoon, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. I'm really excited about today's guest. We were chatting offline a little bit about some of the success that she's had with her company, and actually just coming off of doing some working out. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But Sky, I'm excited to have you on our podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Where are you actually right now coming from? What
I'm
what
physically,
corner of the world, I should say?
yeah, I'm in a mountain town called Revelstoke in British Columbia, and kind of botched it and thought this was a voice call, not a video call. So I came off the mountain bike right now, this big mountain right up there, and ripped down to the truck and got on the call. So it's always a bit of a scramble.
Hey, it's always good. It kind of just showcases a little bit about what you guys are about and what you're doing at Basecamp Resorts. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, kind of what got you into the hospitality and travel industry, and then we'll touch on about the company.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I lived in a place called Canmore, which is about an hour west of Calgary. And I was commuting for my job at the time to Calgary. And I said, I really want to buy a condo, settle down. I love Canmore. And I bought a condo that has a specific zoning called tourist, which allows one to either live full time or rent it out by the night. So it's a very flexible zoning in Canmore. And when I was gone for weekends, mountain biking or skiing or whatever, I started, throwing it on Airbnb, thinking I'll make, $5 here, $10 there. I didn't even know what Airbnb was, right? So unbeknownst to me, um, the hotel rates in Canmore were crazy. And, I started saying, shit, I'm making more money on my little side hustle condo deal than my day job. And I thought to myself, if I could build this and scale it, it would be a great business model. Not
Hmm.
that people hadn't done this before, but there's really a shortage of brands associated with a full blown home away from home model. And even though I started this whole thing on Airbnb, I actually quite hate it, because you never know who you're going to call, right? Like I
Yeah.
stayed at an Airbnb in LA, the air conditioner broke and no one answered the call. And I was like, this is bullshit. So I really wanted to have a brand associated with the home away from home experience. So that's the long story short.
When did you guys actually or when did you start the company? How have you been
I
around?
opened I opened the first hotel, Basecamp Resorts Canmore, on August 1st of 2017.
Oh wow. Okay. What's been the biggest challenge so far with the company and I mean being around for the years that we've been around?
I mean, I don't want to say COVID because that's just like the obvious.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
in hospitality knows that that was the biggest challenge and it was terrible and blah, blah, blah. We, luckily made it through and here we are. For us, the biggest challenge is always finding new investors. So we're growing quickly, and as such, we're always running around raising money and luckily for investors offering great returns. So
Yep.
we've had tremendous amount of success with that, but nonetheless, it's still always a challenge.
No, I can imagine. How many properties do you have in the portfolio right now?
Right now, we have 13 operating hotels, but in the portfolio of deals we're working on and past deals, there's about 25.
Wow. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. So 2024, we're through the first quarter of the year, starting into our second quarter here. Any big things or plans or ideas or stuff that you have on tap for 2024?
Yeah, we're actually getting right into the Nordic spa business. So we started, yeah, so we, thought of this as a growth opportunity because a lot of our hotels that we're acquiring to renovate. So we do this ground up home away from home base camp resorts model. But we also have other brands now, and one of them is Mountain House where we bought an old 100-room hotel, renovated it to make, a top-notch experience, really nice, five-star restaurant, and we're building a Nordic spa because a hotel like that, in my opinion, needs an amenity. So
Sure.
we got into the business that way, and now we're looking at spa sites in other locations and trying to grow the spa brand as well. So that's a big project for 2024 and beyond.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Um, when you're talking about base camp resorts, if you were to tell someone, hey, what's one word or phrase that will kind of describe the brand and the business, what would that be for you?
For me, that would be that we're a real estate company. And that's
Yeah,
contrary to popular belief because everyone thinks, oh, you're a hotel company. We are. We're very much a hotel company. So don't get me wrong. But we also do real estate. You know, all hotels are fundamentally based on real estate. So I always say, no, we're a real estate company who has a hotel brands.
correct, correct. Okay, I see that. I see where you're coming from there. And talk about some of the guests. Where do you get most of your guests from? I guess if you want to call it a target audience, or are they coming from all over the world, specific areas? What is the type of guest that decides to kind of go to your venues?
Yeah, we're located in mostly mountain towns in Western Canada. So about half our guests are local, so Calgary, Edmonton, all over Alberta, a little bit BC. About 30% are Americans, which
Okay.
should be more because the dollar is such a good deal right now for
Oh yeah.
Americans. And then the remaining 20% would be international all over the place.
Okay. Well, nice. So 30% Americans, mostly Canadians. Okay. So that's a very interesting mix there. So when we're talking about some of the travel options, you obviously had this great idea with base camps and how you started it. But what are some of your favorite travel destinations that you've personally been to?
Well, because I'm all into skiing and mountain biking, I go places that I can ski and mountain bike in. Actually, next week I'm going to Sedona in Arizona,
Oh yeah.
and that's, I'd have to say, to answer your question, one of my favorites. And I've been there, and I'm really excited to go again. And places like Moab or Park City or really anywhere that I can get to quickly, and I
Mhm.
can do outdoor activities. And so those would be the more international ones. I actually live in between Revelstoke and Canmore, and those are my favorite, and I get to live in them, so it's really quite perfect.
Convenient. Well, like you said, you just got off the trails right now, so that kind of gives you that fit lifestyle to be able to kind of do the things you want to do. I
Yeah,
guess it'd be the equivalent of living by the beach if you were a surfer. Being able to just
totally.
kind of go out there and do the stuff you love. I mean, I'm a runner myself, and I've always started thinking about trail running and things like that too. Just because when you go into nature, and it's just a whole different ball game when you connect and you're doing things. So I love what y'all are doing from the wellness aspect too. And we have a wellness section in our magazine, and from the spa side of things, but just from the ability to do things while you're on your trip. And you guys look like y'all encompass that a bit. Can you speak a little to that and what you're thinking, how wellness travel may fit into what the model is, and maybe moving forward with that?
Oh, absolutely. And especially moving forward with the spa. But we've always located ourselves with our developments, our renovations, redevelopments, everything in outdoor based communities. Like I said, that's my passion. So we didn't always have an amenity at the hotel
Hmm.
because I was like, well, we're surrounded by ski hills and trails and mountain bike trails and all this other stuff and great restaurants. So why do we need to, do something when everyone else has already done it?
Correct.
But I really feel like the Nordic spa industry is, at the cusp of being something really great. And that's why I got on board with that because I was like, this is something we can offer that nobody else is offering, or in fact, very few people in the regions where we are. And it's a perfect complement to all the outdoor activities. So, for example, my perfect day would be you go for a great mountain bike ride. It's hard, it's
Yeah.
gritty, it's fun, it's all the things. And then in the afternoon, you want to go do, the Nordic spa experience, which is really based on hot, cold, rest, repeat. So there's a series of saunas,
Wow.
steam rooms, hot tubs, rest areas, cold plunges, all of this. Then get a massage. Then, hey, go for dinner. And like, that's a great day. So now people can come stay at our hotels, experience our spas, experience what's around in
Mhm.
terms of ski hills, trails, great walks around town. And it's like a full, perfect getaway.
Yeah, that actually sounds really amazing. What you're trying to accomplish and what you're going to accomplish. I have no doubt about that at all. So as we talked a little bit about some of your favorite destinations. What are some of your bucket list destinations that you would want to travel to at some point?
Well, I guess it's gonna be when my kids aren't 3 and 5 because Mitchell, my 3-year-old, still like kind of a handful on the planes. But
Sure.
Gosh, bucket list. You know what I really want to go to, and you tell me where this is because I haven't yet found it, is somewhere super remote that has a beautiful white or pink or some exotic colored sandy beach and no one else is around and there's a five-star hotel and five-star restaurant. So that's what I'm looking for and I haven't found it.
We,
So,
we need we need to figure that place out too, because I think there's
yeah.
a lot of people on, a lot of our listeners that would probably want to find that same destination.
I know. Well, maybe I need to build it then because, truth be told, I'm
Mhm.
going to Phoenix this Saturday, like I said, and then I'm going to drive to Sedona. But before that, I had booked a trip to Cabo.
Oh,
And
wow.
I did a lot, like just because of the kids and the resorts and all this. And at the last minute, my husband and one of my best friends was like, do not go to Cabo. You will shoot yourself in the head. It's not your thing. Like nothing against Cabo. People go there by the,
Sure.
hundreds of thousands. That's great. But for me, to answer your question, yeah, so I canceled everything. Luckily it was all refundable and pivoted to go, stay at this ranch in the middle of nowhere outside of Sedona and go mountain biking. So once you find this like white sand beach with no one around other than the people at the resort, that's where I want to go.
I'll get on that one. I'll see if we can find that out. We may put that out there with some of our readers and even some of our writers. We've got some, our editor's been traveling, immensely. And so like I'll even ask her, but there's got to be a place out there in the world that's perfect for seclusion and
Hmm.
being in those places. But kind of as we're wrapping up here, I know 15 minutes goes by really quickly. I love your passion. I love what you're doing. I love the vision of Basecamp Resorts. Anything that you like to kind of end with, what people could expect, what you think grand plans are? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think in terms of, touching on expectation, especially as we morph into this more experiential Nordic spa business, is really that our focus has always been and continues to be on the guest experience, which will
Mhm.
be, you know, equally and if not more important once we're into this spa business because at the beginning we started with this is really your home away from home. There's a virtual check-in. We're here if you want us, but if you don't want us you don't need us because you get the
Yeah,
code in your email. Have a nice day. And I really like that because that's what I wanted, but I've almost like turned my personal tables and here I am. Where's my five-star resort? Where's my
yep,
my everything I need? Where's the valet parking? I don't want to screw around. And so I want to be able to offer all of the different options within our brand. So if you're that person who's like, I don't care to talk to anyone, they can go self check in. If they want a valet car park, they call the valet, right? So we're really trying to have within our brand sub brands that tailor to every single person that's traveling in these markets.
that's nice. That's awesome. I love the experiential side of things. That is such a hot topic in travel right now. Just the experiential side of everything that's going on. People want to make memories, want the moments.
Hmm.
They don't just want to sit in the nice hotel is great, but what is there to do? What's the
Hmm.
experience going to be like? How's that going to anchor to future events for us? So as people are looking for you, what's the best way to find you or the group, the company?
Yeah, you bet. It's basecampresorts.com.
Well, that's
And
pretty simple.
everything you need is there. So pretty simple. Yeah.
Perfect. So basecampresorts.com. We'll put that in the notes when everything comes out as well. But I know that's going to be a fantastic opportunity. I'm excited to see your growth. I read the story, I read the past. So it's great to get you on the call and be able to chat with you personally. I thank you for taking the time, especially coming off of the mountain biking and everything, and for being so humble in what you are trying to accomplish here. I really appreciate you being on the call today, Sky.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it as well.
Perfect. Well, for all our readers, for all our members, for all our followers out there, please share this podcast, and then go check it out at thehotelguide.com. You can find us on all our social channels as well. You can find this on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all the cool places where all the cool kids hang out. That's where we are. But until then, travel, make memories, and we look forward to seeing you back soon. Everyone, take care. Have a fantastic day.